I don't talk about Dave Ruben too often, and the that element of the right we know about, whether it be George Santos um, and his lies of his educational history, or his many evictions or his debts. Um, I don't talk too much about Yiannopoulos, another guy. These are grifters on the right, and people they look at it as how this is just a new uh, generation of Republicans. I don't see it that way. I see these people who are gay, who recognize that there's a grift to be made in the Republican Party. Trump we put into that group of him saying that he wanted to be a Republican because he said they were stupid back in the day. So he was going to run as a Republican politician. Um, it is a devolution from the Republican Party to see people like Dave Ruben and others that 50 years ago would have been swept away. Dave Ruben, you don't know who he is. He's a guy with Daily Wire, open homosexual. He's married to a man. And I caught a video of him with one of his people he works with, Ben Shapiro, talking about how Ben Shapiro was never willing to go to the wedding. He didn't really accept the marriage. He didn't really respect it. And, it hit me that listen to Majority Report, listen to people explain it and talk about their own shit, their own opinion on it. That if there was no money to be made, no more show, there was no more live events, they would have nothing to talk about. And for me, that's not what I believe in. Dave Ruben's in his 40s, I believe. I'm 50. He's living in California back then, open, gay marriage. And he's going on this program where they're telling him that they don't accept him. And he does some kind of a live show where he makes fun of the left, making fun of the same people who accept him being who he is. I was thinking, a lot of that happened years ago. Those shows or episodes were 45 years ago. But it hit me that with the rollback of Roe versus Wade with the abortion, and what Clarence Thomas has said about going back and re-examining stare decisis, which puts gay marriage, it puts interracial marriage in question. Basically, all the major events of the 2000s are possibly in doubt. And it hit me that listen to Dave Ruben and him talk about, he did something. He was talking about making fun of. He was in front of a national conservative thing on stage. He's talking about how the empty life of, I guess, old gay men in West Hollywood, and the old fake spray tans and a little dog work out all day, live an empty life. And he's making fun of them basically. And it just hit me that what's he gonna do when they roll back gay marriage? And he's living in Florida or somewhere like that now, and they roll back gay marriage. And what's he gonna do then? When they come in his house and put the gun in his face, he's breaking the law, living with a man. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna be talking about little men, old men then? Is he gonna talk about transgenders then? What's he gonna talk about? Do you think that when they do this shit, that Ben Shapiro is gonna say, damn, this is so fucked up, I'm gonna pay his bail? You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna go out, we're gonna march behind this. You know what we're gonna do? Does he think that any of these crackers that he's, hand in hand with are gonna back him or help his family? I never followed him. I don't know much about him like that. I do know about a guy named Allen West. He's a Republican, black Republican. He ran against Obama, I think, in '08. Didn't do so well, Republican. He was some kind of a general, a colonel in the army, real conservative guy, real conservative. And a couple years ago, his wife was arrested in Dallas. And he's been against Black Lives Matter. He rolled against all that stuff. He was just, black folks need to just shut up and sit down. And his wife was arrested for drunk driving when she was not drunk. In fact, on the video, it shows it was like a double O. She was completely sober when they arrested her. And he came out talking about he was racist. Nobody marched for him. Nobody cares about Allen West. Yeah, I get it. You kept your head down and you found favor. But when you need help, no one's going to help you. Not just because you're conservative, but because of the things you have done against people who did need help. That's how I see David Ruben. When we get the handmaid's tale on America, when they're able to push through their Christian fundamentalist bullshit, and they're able to do what they want to do, David Ruben will not even be a footnote in the annals of history. I'm pretty sure a lot of police departments won't do it. It's like everything else. Police are a political institution, and their job is the intent of lieutenants and captains and all that. They have intent on what crimes to go after and what crime not to go after. They have the choice to do so. They have their choice to really investigate and pursue certain type of crimes over others. It's facts. Everybody knows that. But he could be living in some small town somewhere. Remember Lawrence vs. Taylor? Where the guy had a misdemeanor warrant and the police busted in his house. I think it was like a traffic warrant or something, busted in his house and arrested him for sodomy. That can happen again. That will happen again. And Dave Ruben will become a victim of the very same things he's talking about. All these videos and everything, looking back in history. He will be. I don't know. To me, it's so tragic not to recognize you're a token. You're a token. If there was no money to be made by you, if there's no more money to be made, if there wasn't a conservative thing of people who are like, you know what? Because look, people who watch Dave Ruben, these are not Democrats. These are people who are conservatives who want to believe that what they believe in is not racist, is not homophobic. They just believe these things upon belief. Like, everything you're doing, like, you have nothing to fall back on. You can't fall back on the history the folks came before you. It hit me from the center, so it hit me. They said he really doesn't understand the laws and regulations created to protect him. The people on the stage with him, if they had their way, that would never happen. Do you know why they bring him on Daily Wire? It's because they have to have a gay man. Because that's a segment of society that's represented now. When you run a business, you have to watch for representation. It's a law. You have to. If there's certain amount of people in a certain area, then I have to represent that. Now I can twist it and make it that person be conservative or whatever, but you have to have something representing those people. And if there were laws, and so he is simply representative of that, of a market demand. Dave Ruben is a commodity, nothing more. People forced that. People forced society to recognize that. And the people on stage with him at NR, if they had their way, there would have been no representation, which means what? There would never have been a Dave Ruben show. It wouldn't have happened, pimp. The world he's living in is a world of tolerance because people fought and died for that. That ain't magic. This ain't a top hat. This ain't poof on a top hat. This was something fought for. And to listen to him, it's tragic that he can't ever look back at his ancestors as I am the continuation that you fought for. He is simply a commodity. He's representative of a commodity of money to be made. And that's sad to me. You know, as a minority, you're supposed to continue the hopes of your ancestors. You're supposed to, you're supposed to have a foot in that world. I know of the Keynesian theology of nonviolence. Respect it. What about nonviolent? You're supposed to have respect and acknowledgement of these things, of these people, and be thankful that you're not living in that world that once existed, and do everything you can to make sure that world never comes back. I think that we get into politics sometimes and we never realize or think about the true cost of how these things affect human life. And as I said, if they get their way, he would be in prison. He'd be in a mental facility. He wouldn't be somewhere broadcasting to thousands of people. He wouldn't have that stage at all. And to me, let me say this too. It seems like his whole thing of like, I guess, a mocking of people who are effeminate homosexuals. Him playing that and talking about old gay men in West Hollywood that walk around with little puppy dogs. He's playing to people that there is no benefit. Like they don't care. And a guy on my jury made a great point of that they don't hate you for the rainbow. The rainbow is representative of what they hate you being gay. I thought about the Punisher. People see the Punisher, the flag, the blue line flag. They don't think about, I hate the Punisher. No, that is indicative of the police. That's indicative of the cops, the blue lights. And people think of, I hate the cops, not a symbol. And that if you don't understand that, that represents that you're a child. You are not mature enough to understand what it means. The people he talks to, I'll leave it there.